Hi, I'm Chris Dallin with The Long Way Home. We're on an airboat on the Great Salt Lake. So you drive which one? This one, that one? So we're gonna go out on the lake today, and what are we gonna see?
We're probably gonna see some chicks, some shorebirds that are just hatching or have just hatched.
Some chicks, that's always a good day if you see some chicks,
right? Yeah. Unfortunately, it's all man today, but out there, there'll be baby birds, there'll be, we'll see, I don't know, a variety of things, mostly shorebirds. It's nesting season right now.
So Scott, you're this fabulous driver of this awesome machine. How often do you come out?
Well, through the season, I probably come out in the spring 10 times, and then during the hunting season, I'm out here almost every weekend. I've seen some of the prettiest sunsets, the most beautiful vegetation you just don't see anywhere else, and so it's fun to be part of that and to be able to come out and experience it.
I would encourage everybody to get out there. There are so much neat stuff to see. You can go out to Antelope Island down the causeway, you can go out to the beaches there, you can go in some of the marshes, you can take tours on Bear River Bird Refuge, or you can take a tour loop, down to Saltaire. There's so many cool things out there. And you know what? It mostly doesn't stink like people think it does.
So I am here with
Russ Smith
and
Tim Hughes,
and it's the beauty and brains of the KSL Outdoor Radio Show.
here to talk about the mighty Phragmites.
I don't know how you come back
We've
from
been
that.
working really good. Yeah.
So what about the Phragmites, Russ?
It sucks all the water out of the lake. Not really, but it's a tough deal. They're up against a really tough deal here.
Phragmites, or common reed, is a serious concern in many Utah wetlands. These tall reeds crowd out more desirable plants native to North America and are found in every U.S. state. The rapid increase of Phragmites in North America is due to colonization by a more aggressive European variant of the plant. Phragmites can spread up to 15 or 20 feet per year. The Division of Wildlife Resources has an aggressive management plan to control Phragmites along the eastern shore of the Great Salt Lake that involves spraying with herbicides and subsequent burning.
Get me on the airboat with some flamethrowers, I can take care of it. I'll do the time. I don't care. I'd like to help out.
You could kind of see him like Rambo on the front of an airboat with two flamethrowers, one out each side, just blowing up the Phragmites.
What's funny is when I think about you, Russ, that's what I think about.
Think about Phragmites, huh?
Most of the stuff that was lining this channel as we were coming up is Phragmites. In conjunction with Forestry, Fire, and State Lands, we've treated some of the Phragmites and rolled it down. This is a spot that's only gone through 1 year of treatments, and you can see that there's still a lot of dead Phragmites laying on the ground. It hasn't decomposed yet, so really the only thing that's coming back right now is more Phragmites. And it gives you a great idea of what this stuff looks like if nothing's done. It's just virtually a 12-foot tall, impenetrable wall. And there's areas along the lake shore that this goes for miles. Not only does it grow extremely dense above ground, they've found in some areas and in extreme cases, up to 80% of the plant's biomass is actually below ground. There's just no space for anything else to occupy. And that's why it's actually so hard to kill, because it has such an extensive rhizome and root system that holds all the energy and resources it needs to grow. It takes a lot to kill it.
The level of the lake is going down. What can we do about it?
The first thing you have to do is identify that it's a problem to not have water come out to the lake. There's so many diversions and damming and reuse of water that just stops it before it ever gets to the Great Salt Lake. So our marshes just disappear and dry up. because they're being used for other things, for development, for economic reasons, for agriculture, for a lot of things. But the end result is it doesn't go to the lake, and the lake needs it really bad.
You know, I think the biggest message is probably, water conservation. I think we can all do more as far as conserving water. It's a very complex problem with a lot of issues, and everybody has different competing interests, obviously, as well. And so we all need to become part of the solution, because one group or one entity is not going to fix this problem. It's very complicated, and we're all going to need to work together on it.
We really have something unique here along the Wasatch Front that needs to be delicately taken care of and maintained. We can all do our part as residents of the Wasatch Front by conserving water, so that as much of the water as possible from runoff can actually make it out here and fill up some of these areas. And then the work just goes on with this Phragmites deal. It's a 3-year project to battle certain areas,
So there's an algae bloom.
Where? We don't see it.
An algal bloom is a rapid increase in the population of algae in freshwater or marine water systems, and is recognized by the discoloration in the water from their pigments. Blooms which can injure animals or the ecology are called harmful algal blooms. They can be fatal to fish, cause cities to cut off water to residents, and could close fisheries.
So algae blooms in this water body and water bodies throughout the state are one of the concerns, water quality concerns that we're working on. In particular, we're talking about what we call harmful algal blooms that can be toxic both to humans, domestic animals, and wildlife. There's 3 routes of exposure to harmful algae blooms and to cyanotoxins. Skin contact, obviously you can drink it in if you're swimming in it, and then potentially inhalation as well when it gets mixed up into the air and you breathe it in. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to know for sure when you see a particular algal bloom whether it's potentially harmful or not without taking a sample and having it processed at a lab, having all the different species identified. Our harmful algae bloom program has made, I think, a lot of progress in the past year or two as far as developing methods for grabbing samples, assessing whether it's occurring, making assessments on the health of ecosystems. So we're making a lot of progress, and we're trying to expand our monitoring to a lot of the important drinking source waters as well as recreational waters throughout the state.
These birds fly from Mexico to Canada and Canada to Mexico, and they stop by here for rest, right?
Yeah, the Pacific Flyway, the famous Pacific Flyway. Not only that, the hunters out here, of course, in the fall, but just the bird watchers. It's just amazing.
What kind of wildlife do you see out here year-round, Scott?
Well, those shorebirds are very plentiful, and they come through here. Every species of duck, for the most part, shorebirds, geese, trumpeter swan, pelicans, cranes. You see it all out here. There are millions and millions of birds that use this as a rest stop, and this is why it's so important. It's the largest in the West rest stop for migratory birds.
There's a large migration of eagles. During the February time, you can come out here and there's 200-300 eagles.
Anybody that has followed the exploits of this group, and it's good to get the band back together, even if just for a day. I don't think it's a coincidence that the boat was named Mayhem, Russ happened to be on it, and it was the one that got stuck in the mud.
So Stan, we've been out here on the Great Salt Lake today. What did you see?
Wow, it's an amazing thing to see what we've done today, and I just can't believe the expansion. I mean, I understand that a lot of this is in Box Elder County, but I can't believe how much is in Weber and Davis County. It's just amazing to me.
People talk about going to Antelope Island, and it's a lot of fun at Antelope Island. This is a whole new dimension once you get out past the normal I-15 corridor out to where the Phragmites end and you get to the native Great Salt Lake. It was just terrific. Something that very few people ever get an opportunity to see, and more people should find a way to do.
A last word, Tim?
Like I said, I wish more people would take the opportunity to come out here. You don't have to be a duck hunter to do it, although to get here where we are standing right now in the wildlife management area, you do have to be out here at certain times of the year. But realize this great resource that we have in our backyard, the importance of it, not just for Utah, but for all of North America. And if we don't do our part here along the Wasatch Front to take care of it, there's going to be some real ramifications for a lot of people beyond just those that live here.
What a great way to experience the Great Salt Lake on an airboat. We've learned today that it's an economic engine, it's a great flyway for birds, and it's an awesome and beautiful place to see in nature. Check it out, the Great Salt Lake, on your long way home.